Hello, I'm Vachaspati Bimali. By profession, I'm IELTS and PT instructor. Today, in this YouTube video, I'm gonna teach you how you should give answer in PT read aloud passage. What happens in the read aloud passage? Let me make you understand step by step. Number one, introductions to read aloud in PT speaking model. Let me teach you by the help of the screen. I have clearly mentioned some points on the screen. Let me elaborate it step by step. Number one, in the PT speaking test, in the PT speaking module, read aloud section is typically the first task. What I mean here, as you begin to appear in PT exam, at first you will have to solve the questions based on read aloud passage. It is the first questions that appear in PT speaking test. Number next, test takers are presented with a short text on the screen and need to read it aloud clearly and accurately. What does it mean? PT test takers, they will see a passage in front of their eyes on the screen, and PT test takers have to read the passage as clearly as possible, as naturally as possible. Okay, now number two, number of questions and time allocations. I mean, how many questions the PT test takers will get in PT exam. Let me make you understand. Number one, number of questions. Test takers usually get 6 to 7 questions in the read aloud section. What I mean here, PT students will get either 6 questions or 7 questions. Minimum 6, maximum 7 questions in PT, read aloud sections. Maximum 7, minimum 6. You will get a passage. And next, preparation time. For each passage, they are given 30 to 40 seconds to prepare. At first, you will see a passage in front of your eyes, and the software will give you either 30 seconds or 40 seconds depending on the length of the passage. You will get minimum 30 seconds, maximum 40 seconds to read the passage silently. At first, you don't have to read the passage loudly. Okay, speaking time. After the preparation time, they get 30 to 40 seconds to read the passage aloud. What does it mean? The moment PT test takers see the passage in front of their eyes, they don't have to read it very quickly. What I mean here, at first software will give you 30 to 40 seconds to read the passage very silently. So whenever they encounter any words they don't know how to pronounce it correctly, they have to read it silently. And as the beep sound comes, you should start reading the passage as naturally as possible. Let me give you another tip. Let me say something more about PT read aloud passage. How PT software evaluates your score. Okay, let me explain it step by step. The PT software evaluates performance in read aloud based on 3 criteria. How does PT software evaluate your score in read aloud passage? Okay, there won't be human being, there will be a software. A software will give you a score in PT read aloud passage. So number one is content. Number 2 is oral fluency. Number 3, pronunciation. Content, oral fluency, and what? Pronunciation. Let me explain it. Content measures how accurately the student read the text. If words are added, omitted, or replaced, the score decreases. What does it mean? As you see the passage in front of your eyes, what you need to do, you have to read the passage as naturally as possible. You don't have to use any irrelevant words. whatever you see in the passage, that you have to use, that you have to read. I mean, you are not allowed to use your own words. Okay? And next, you cannot omit any word. You cannot avoid any word. Whatever you have seen, whatever you are going to see in the passage, you have to read very quickly. And you cannot replace any word. Okay? If you do it, and software will give you less score. Okay? I mean, you are not allowed to add any word. You are not allowed to avoid any word. You have to read it very nicely. And number 2, oral fluency. What do you mean by fluency? Fluency means ability to speak without any pause. As you begin to speak, you don't have to speak, you don't have to read very fast, you don't have to read very slowly. You should read the passage in moderate pace. Here moderate means neither fast nor slowly. Okay? And okay, next, oral fluency, assess the smoothness and naturalness of speech. Maintain a natural flow without unnecessary pauses or hesitations. So what do you mean by pause? Pause means as you begin to speak, if there is comma, you have to remain silent just for a second. If there is full stop, you have to remain silent just for a second. And when there is full stop, you have to remain silent a little bit more in comparison to comma. Okay, fluency doesn't mean that you have to speak English unnecessarily fast. Okay, I mean, you should avoid unnecessary pause. If you take unnecessary pause, PT software will give you nice score. Now, hesitations. What do you mean by hesitations? As you start reading the passage, you don't have to hesitate. If you don't know how to pronounce any particular word, you should leave that word and you should go ahead. I mean, don't take unnecessary pause. Next, number 3 is what? Pronunciation. What do you mean by pronunciation? Here, pronunciation means you have to utter the word correctly. Your pronunciation should be clear. For example, many Nepalese students they said democracy instead of democracy. They said development instead of development. It's not development, it's development. It's not democracy, it's a democracy. I mean, you have to pronounce the word very, very clearly. Okay, next. Pronunciation, I'm talking about pronunciation. Pronunciation evaluates how understandable the speech is to a native English speaker. What I mean here, whatever you have spoken, if well-educated people from England and America, they can understand what you have spoken. It means you have good fluency. Okay, you have to pronounce word very, very clearly. Clear and correct pronunciation is necessary. You have to pronounce word clearly. For example, ASIA is not Asia, it's Asia. Many Nepalese students, they say Asia, which is wrong. It's Asia. It's not Asia, it's Asia. Okay. Now, I'm gonna provide you tips for answering read aloud questions step by step. Number 1, understand the passage. What do you mean by this? Use the preparation time to read the passage silently and understand the meaning. As you start seeing the passage in front of your eyes, I mean, you have to read the passage very silently. You don't have to read the passage loudly. What I mean here, if you encounter any words you don't know how to pronounce, you should guess. Okay? And even after guessing, if you are not able to pronounce that word, you should leave the word and you should go ahead. Next, focus on pronunciation. Here, practice difficult words beforehand to avoid mispronunciations. They will give you 30 to 40 minutes to read the passage silently. Before the beep sound comes, you should practice silently to pronounce the word before the beep sound comes. Next, maintain fluency. Here, avoid unnecessary pauses, maintain a natural pace without rushing. Okay, fluency doesn't mean that you have to speak very slowly. And fluency doesn't mean that you should speak very fast. Fluency means the ability to speak without pause. You should read the passage in moderate pace. You should avoid unnecessary pauses. You don't have to take on many pauses. You don't have to remain silent many times. Okay? Maintain a natural pace. Here pace means speed. You have to read the passage very clearly. Next, stress important words. So emphasize keywords to convey the right meaning. Okay, stress important words. You have to know where the stress fall. Okay, like government, because where the stress fall, you have to take care about it. Now, number 5, confidence and volume. Speak confidently and clearly with a moderate volume. What do you mean by moderate volume? You should not speak very loudly. You should not speak very slowly. If you speak loudly, it can disturb to other people. If you speak slowly, software may not catch your voice. You have to speak in moderate pace. Next, do not hesitate or repeat. Hesitations or repeating words can lower the score. Okay, as you begin to read the passage, what I mean here, you don't have to hesitate. If you don't know how to pronounce any particular word, what I mean here, you don't have to, repeat that word. For example, okay, if you don't know how to pronounce any word, if you pronounce that word twice, it will create negative impressions. Okay, you have to pronounce one word only one time only. Now, so I'm going to show you a few passages and I'm going to read. And dear PT test takers, I'm going to teach you how you should read the passage. I'm going to here are 2 passages. I'm going to read it. As you see the passage, they will give you 30 seconds to read the passage silently. And here I am not going to invest 30 seconds because such passages I can read very confidently. As you see the passage, invest at least 30 seconds to read the passage silently. Okay, as you begin to speak, you should speak or you should read very naturally in moderate pace. Let me read 4 passages over here. Passage number 1. See how I am going to read. Climate change is one of the most pressing issues facing our planet today. It affects ecosystems, weather patterns, and human health. Immediate action is required to reduce carbon emissions and promote sustainable practices. This is how you should read the passage. And how I have read here, where there was comma, I remain silent just for a second. And where there was full stop, I remain silent just for a second. Now let me read next passage. Okay, so you can see the passage. Okay, passage number 2. Education plays a crucial role in personal and societal development. It empowers individuals with knowledge and skills, enabling them to contribute positively to their communities. Lifelong learning is a key to adapting to a changing world. In this way, you have to read passages in read aloud. Okay, read aloud sections in PT exam. Now let me read 2 more passages. Okay. Now, passage 3. They will give you 30 seconds to read the passage. Okay. Now, read it silently, just for a few seconds. Okay, passage 3. Technology has revolutionized communication, making it easier to connect with people across the globe. However, the overuse of digital devices can lead to social isolations and decrease face-to-face interactions. You have to read a little bit fast. In PT, read aloud passage. Now, number 4 passage. Okay, please read it silently just for a few seconds. Okay, I am going to read. Reading regularly enhances cognitive abilities and improves language skills. It fosters creativity and imagination, allowing readers to explore different perspectives and ideas. Developing a reading habit is beneficial for people of all ages. This is how you have to read in PT, read aloud sections. Now I am going to teach you how PT software evaluates these passages step by step. Now, how PT software evaluates these passages? The PT software evaluates each passage using the criteria mentioned earlier. Okay. So, content. It checks if the test takers read the passage exactly as shown without any errors. Okay. You have to read the passage as clearly as possible. You are not allowed to use any words from your own side. Next, oral fluency. Software tracks the pace and flow of speech. Consistency without unnecessary pause is crucial. As you begin to read the passage, you don't have to take unnecessary pause. Many pauses, you should avoid many pauses. You should be able to read the passage in moderate pace, neither fast nor slowly. Next, pronunciation. You have to pronounce each word very clearly. I mean, whatever you have spoken, native speakers, the people who are from England and America, they should be able to understand you. I mean, what you have spoken, what you have read very clearly. So, okay, what I mean here, okay, at first, you should read the passage very silently. After that, you should start reading. And okay, next. Most important things, the PT exam, PT read aloud. I mean, software will give you a score in both, I mean, speaking module as well as in reading module. It's not like an IELTS. In IELTS, if examiner conduct IELTS exam, for speaking they will give you separate marks. But in PT, in read aloud sections, they will give you a score for reading also, for reading module also, and they will give you a score for speaking module. In read aloud sections, you will get 22 marks for speaking module and 22 marks for reading module. In total, 44. So in PT read aloud sections, you will get a score in integrated form. Okay. So this was for today. Hi guys, you might have understood whatever I have taught. If you like my teaching style, please subscribe my channel and write comment in the comment box, and you can give me direct call if you want to learn online class. In my online class, I teach PT offline and online in Kathmandu city. Thank you very much.